In this video I will explain just exactly how and why I view superhero films as their own genre. To preface, I lost my voice whilst filming this, so the beginning and end are read through AI and the middle is the only good takes I had, so apologies in advance for the rough state of this. In this video essay, I use both the ideas described by Rick Altman as well as the 5 stages of genre by Paul Giannetti.
Superhero films are often thought of as parts of many different genres and not as their own. However, I see them fitting much more together as a genre of their own. As a group of movies dating back as early as the 1920s, superhero films are reaching the end of their prime, even if the big companies don't think as much. The 3 most important pieces of a genre are their semantic properties, their syntactic properties, and their pragmatic properties. Semantically, superhero films have the same common elements throughout them. The 2 most important elements are powers and identity. For a movie to be considered a superhero movie, the characters, either the main protagonist or antagonist, will have a superhuman ability. Whether that's in the form of alien powers, lab test experiments, or just abilities above the average person, one of these must be a part of the film. Along with this, the character's identity, either costume, emblem, or alias, is also often a very important part of the film. Picture Superman, and the first thing you'll think of is the S on his chest. Think Tony Stark, and you'll think of his alias, Iron Man. Superhero films have gone through all 5 stages of genre, currently landing in the final homage stage with upcoming films. To recover, the first stage is primitive, which is the early days of the films in this area. Then the classical, which is where the genre is starting to be seen as a group together. Next is revisionist, which is where the genre is sort of a deconstruction of the classic tropes. With parodic to follow, which is a take on the cliches and comically presenting the genre. And lastly is homage, which would be an imitation of the earlier films. Primitive films in the superhero genre could be dated back to the 1950s with Superman and the Mole Men, or even The Mark of Zorro in the 1920s, but I feel Christopher Reeve's Superman films in the 1970s were the true spark that brought this genre into the light. Looking at a clip from these Christopher Reeve Superman films, it is clear that they set the stage for all of the upcoming superhero films.
What the hell is that?
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you? I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. He got her.
Following this with the classical stage, I would put all of the early 2000s in this era. The X-Men, Spider-Man, the MCU, The Dark Knight, The Man of Steel. These film series took the popularity of superheroes of the time and capitalized off of it. This popularity and growth is seen the most among the MCU, with fans screaming and filling their theaters to go see Infinity War. Towards the end of this era, we get revisionist films with The Suicide Squad, Deadpool, Logan, and even Black Panther. In The Suicide Squad, we see villains our heroes have previously fought, now saving the world and becoming the good guys. While they are still killing both good and bad guys, in the end they are there to do the right thing, just maybe not the right way. Adding this heroism to classic villains gives them a level of depth and they can no longer be considered just truly evil. Black Panther dives into this idea as well, with Eric Killmonger wanting the best for his people, as does T'Challa, but going about it in an evil way. On the other hand, we have Deadpool. This mercenary is considered a hero by many standards, but does not shy away from killing the people he deems deserving. Unlike Batman or Spider-Man, who have no killing codes, Deadpool gets a sick enjoyment out of being able to cleanse the world of evil and even has witty remarks as he does so.
Oh, hello. I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with
And in one of the most influential films for superheroes in the last couple of years, Logan showed us how an invincible and emotionally distant hero like Wolverine can spend his final days creating a new family for himself in the future. Before this, industries had seemed scared to fully kill off their main characters for fear of ruining all the work they have built up. But Logan was a perfect ending to an already perfect character. And while they are not films, television shows like Invincible or The Boys show how the heroes can end up being worse than their villains. Parodic superhero films are also coming up as the genre itself grows. While some are poking fun of the genre as a whole, like The Tick, The Middle Finger, or my personal favorite, the Thong Girl series, others, like the Lego Batman movie, choose to portray the genre in a new light while also giving a satirical commentary on superhero films as a whole. Homage films are where this genre gets a little bit more difficult to pinpoint. In the recent years, we have seen many past heroes return, most notably in Spider-Man No Way Home, having Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, and Thomas Hayden Church and Rhys Ifans, returning for the movies. And in Deadpool and Wolverine, bringing back many memorable and not so memorable X-Men and X-Men adjacent characters. This stage I feel will be done much better with the upcoming films as these movies move more into our past. With James Gunn's recreation of the DC Expanded Universe, these homages will be seen much better in films like Superman Legacy. Or even back to the MCU, seeing the past characters interact with the new generation of heroes in Avengers Secret Wars will be a great homage to the early era of fans. The big question falls into, are superheroes a film genre of their own? I feel that they are a sort of pseudo-genre, or a genre that cannot stand on its own. In a movie store, I would categorize The Batman in the same section as Birds of Prey, but they are clearly not the same type of movie. Superhero films often will have to have another genre that they identify with just as much, whether it's comedy, action, horror, family, or even romance.
Like this again, what happens then?
They'll come back.
You really sure about that?
I am.
As Guardians of the Galaxy back together again.
Why?
Because we'll need them to.
Nothing lasts forever.
Trouble, Ms. Romanoff. No matter who wins or loses, trouble still comes round.
The world has been forever changed. We need new heroes. Ones suited for the times we're in.
When you love something, you protect it.